Hey, so I work at a global bank, right? Global bank, and um, and I work in a sector or a section of the bank. It's operational risk. I won't go into like detail, but it's a highly regulated sector of the bank. Risk, it's risk, right? So it's highly regulated, but there's a process that we do. Many of our processes involve what's called maker checker, right? So maker can't be the checker, and the checker can't be the maker. And the reason we have maker checker is because separation of duties, segregation of duties, but it keeps things efficient and prevents fraud and a bunch of other reasons, right? Because if you're the maker of something, sometimes when you're working on something, because I work with data, and when you're working on something so close to it, sometimes there's things that you miss as the maker. Human error happens. So there's things that you miss. So once you're done with your part of it, you send it to a checker. The checker checks it for efficiency, right? Because they have fresh eyes. They weren't working so close with it. They can look at it from a different perspective. There's a word in that too. But yeah, that's not my point. Anyway, yeah, maker checker, right? So we have maker checker. But here's why I geek out. If you read Genesis chapter 1, that's the first book of the Bible, you'll see a phrase that comes up often, or a few times, right? It says, and God saw that it was good, right? So God created, right? He created in stages. He could have created all at once, but he created in stages. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to be learned as a creator or a creative type. If you study Genesis chapter 1, there is so much in there. But this is the geeky part for me. So God creates, and then he looks at it and see that it's good, and then when he finishes, he sees that it's very good. So he reviews his own work. That's crazy, because if God is the maker, who's qualified to be the checker, right? Who can who can say God, you missed a spot. I think on day 2 you got to go back and like, no, he like, and even if it's not good, like it's gonna be good, because there's no one around to say otherwise, right? That just like, that's some stuff that blows my mind, that the creator of all created in stages, and when he created, he reviewed his own work, right? Because who else is qualified to be so he was his own checker. And that shows that shows so much, like, power. There's so much power in edits, right? Review and editing things. You can do that. Like, I could that's all throughout life. If you create something, you review it, look at it, see that it's good. And good means, that it needs nothing else. And so, like, people who, a lot of times, who that's a word for people who are editors, or they're producers or things like, and they're behind the camera, not necessarily in front of the camera, but behind the camera, and they work in production, or they feel insignificant or whatever. You are so much like the creator. You are so much like God, like your father, that you don't even know. You get that character trait from him, that gift of editing. That's a gift. That's a creative gift. Review something, to create and then review it, and make it better, make fine cuts to make something better. That's a gift from God. So like, stuff like that I geek out about, because God shows how much power there is in reviewing your own work, and editing, right? He saw that it wasn't, everything he created was good, but it wasn't good. Not man wasn't good, but it wasn't good. That man should be alone. So he made an edit. I'll create for him a helper, right? Um, that's that's crazy stuff. Like, yeah, because if you think about it, um, that it shows God's power, but also his attention to detail, and also his, like, his humility, You wouldn't even think to associate that humility. Why would the eternal God have to be like humble? But he's so he's so high, so big, but he's also so detailed and meticulous. It's awesome. That just goes to show the range and the breadth and the vastness of our God, right? I thought that was cool. So take encouragement from that. If yeah, review yourself, make edits to yourself. There's nothing wrong with making something better, or reviewing something. Make edits to your relationship. If this is not good, if this is not if this can be better, make those cuts, make those revisions, right? There's power in that, and God shows us, right? Yeah, that's all I had. Geeky moment for me.